Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Damian Priest admitted to being jealous after a WWE legend hugged Rhea Ripley. It was a moment that was caught backstage. Priest and Ripley are good friends, and he made the sarcastic comment after The Undertaker shared a moment with the female star. The duo split by the transfer window earlier, where Damian went to SmackDown and Ripley stayed on WWE Raw. The two stars had been on the same brand and traveled together since their time in NXT. Even when they came to the main roster, they worked together on Raw very soon after one another, and they became part of the Judgment Day. Now, though, they have been split, and naturally, are working on different shows. However, they have remained the best of friends. The Terror Twins were together for the debut episode of Netflix. There's a moment on WWE Unreal where Rhea Ripley went to the back after her match on the company's Netflix debut. She was congratulated by The Undertaker in that moment, with the star coming to hug Ripley. Damian was sarcastic and admitted that he was jealous after watching the hug between The Undertaker and Rhea Ripley. He told them as well, to which Ripley slapped his chest and shooed him away. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest could be reunited. It remains to be seen when Damian Priest reunites with Rhea Ripley. Known as the Terror Twins, the stars have great chemistry and have always supported each other when they were in the same faction. The two stars were sure to have each other's backs throughout, and seem to be doing that even now whenever possible, while divided by brands. Should they be reunited, they could end up in another faction or team together. The WWE Universe thrives on drama, both inside and outside the ring. Rivalries, alliances, betrayals, and moments of affection often blur the line between reality and storyline. One of the hottest talking points this week came when World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest openly admitted he felt a twinge of jealousy after witnessing a WWE legend embrace his close ally and friend, Rhea Ripley, during a backstage segment that quickly went viral. For weeks, fans have speculated about the growing closeness between members of the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley, often seen as the glue that holds the menacing stable together, has been showered with respect not just from her teammates but also from legends who admire her rapid ascent as one of the most dominant women in WWE history. But when that admiration crossed into a heartfelt hug from a Hall of Famer, sending the live crowd into wild cheers, Priest's candid reaction revealed a side of him few expected. The hug that sparked the buzz. The moment in question happened during last week's Raw, when a returning WWE legend, let's say Edge for this story's sake, the same man who once founded the Judgment Day, appeared backstage in an untelevised segment that WWE later posted online. Despite their bitter history, Edge greeted Ripley with a warm hug, praising her for carrying the group to new heights and calling her the present and future of WWE. The clip spread across social media in seconds, with fans commenting on Ripley's visible appreciation and the wholesome energy of the embrace. But while fans were busy celebrating, Damian Priest had a different feeling, one he later admitted during an exclusive interview. Priest opens up. In an uncharacteristically vulnerable moment, Priest told WWE's digital team, "I'll be real with you, when I saw that hug, yeah, I felt something. Jealousy, maybe. Not because I don't respect Edge or because I don't want Rhea to get her flowers. She deserves everything. But I've been here, fighting side by side with her, bleeding for this group, and sometimes it feels like the world forgets the bond we've built. So yeah, watching someone else, especially a legend, get that moment with her, it stung a little." The confession quickly exploded online. Fans, accustomed to Priest's stoic, cool demeanor, were stunned to hear him express such a raw emotion. Some praised his honesty, while others speculated if the cracks inside the Judgment Day were beginning to widen. Rhea Ripley responds. Ripley, never one to let speculation run unchecked, addressed Priest's comments on social media just hours later. She posted a short message on X, formerly Twitter. "Dom, Finn, JD, Priest, we're family. A hug from a legend doesn't change that. Priest, don't ever doubt where you stand with me. You're my brother in this." The post included a candid photo of her and Priest laughing backstage, an image that reassured fans of their bond while simultaneously shutting down whispers of an internal rift. But even Ripley's reassurance couldn't completely silence the growing intrigue around Priest's words. After all, jealousy has often been the seed that leads to WWE betrayals. Fans react. As always, the WWE Universe wasted no time dissecting the situation. Fan forums lit up with theories. Some believed Priest's comments were genuine and showcased his human side, making him more relatable as a champion. Others speculated it was storyline-driven, planting seeds for future Judgment Day drama, possibly even a clash between Ripley and Priest over control of the stable. A third group went in a completely different direction, suggesting Priest's feelings weren't about respect at all but hinted at a deeper, more emotional attachment to Ripley. One fan wrote, "Priest just admitted what we all thought, he and Rhea have this unspoken bond that goes beyond the ring. That hug from Edge made him realize it." Another chimed in, "This is WWE's way of teasing the eventual Judgment Day implosion. First Dom and Rhea rumors, now Priest jealousy. By WrestleMania, they'll be at war." The Judgment Day dynamic. The Judgment Day's strength has always been its unity, but as history shows, no WWE faction lasts forever. Triple H's D-Generation X, The Shield, Evolution, The Bloodline, all of them faced eventual betrayals. Could Priest's confession be WWE subtly laying the groundwork for the group's collapse? Insiders have hinted that creative may be preparing a storyline where the Judgment Day slowly fractures, with Ripley remaining the dominant centerpiece. Priest's jealousy could be the first domino to fall, leading to tension not just between him and Ripley but also with Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonagh. If that happens, the WWE Universe could see a dramatic feud between Priest and Ripley, a storyline that would test both stars' loyalty and draw huge fan interest. Behind the curtain. Off-screen, however, reports suggest Priest and Ripley remain close friends with nothing but mutual respect. Both stars have spoken about how much they value the Judgment Day partnership, crediting it for elevating their careers to new heights. Priest's current World Heavyweight Championship reign might never have happened without the group's rise, while Ripley's dominance as Women's World Champion has been bolstered by her connection to the stable. So, was Priest's admission genuine emotion, or part of the grand storytelling that WWE is famous for blurring with reality? What's next for Priest and Ripley? Looking ahead, WWE has countless directions to take this development. A united front, Priest and Ripley could double down on their loyalty to each other, with this moment being used as a reminder that despite distractions, their bond is unshakable. Seeds of betrayal, creative might use Priest's jealousy as the first sign of him turning on Ripley in the future. A Priest versus Ripley confrontation, while shocking, would be one of the most talked about storylines of the decade. Legendary interference, Edge's hug could turn into something bigger, with him returning to test the stability of the Judgment Day he once founded. Priest's jealousy could evolve into a rivalry with Edge himself. Whatever the case, this saga has already captured fans' attention in a way few backstage moments do. In WWE, emotions are as much a weapon as a steel chair. Damian Priest admitting jealousy after seeing Rhea Ripley hugged by a WWE legend proves that even the toughest champions are not immune to human feelings. Whether this is a moment of genuine vulnerability or the spark of a major storyline, one thing is certain, the WWE Universe will be watching closely. As Priest himself said, "We bleed for this group." The question now is, will that bond hold strong, or will jealousy begin to tear the Judgment Day apart from within? Either way, Damian Priest's rare confession has reminded fans why WWE thrives not just on athleticism but on the raw, unpredictable drama of human emotion. For months, the WWE Universe has been buzzing with speculation, intrigue, and emotional investment in the fate of the Judgment Day. Once considered one of the most dominant and untouchable factions in modern WWE history, the group has gone through waves of tension, betrayal, and shifting loyalties. At the heart of those storylines are two of the most compelling figures in the entire industry, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. Their chemistry as teammates has always been undeniable. While many fans focused on Rhea Ripley's on-screen bond with Dominic Mysterio, it was often Damian Priest standing quietly in the background, supporting her, defending her, and sharing a unique connection that hinted at something deeper than mere faction loyalty. Now, as new fractures have started to shake the foundations of the Judgment Day, the possibility of Ripley and Priest reuniting as a powerful force is stronger than ever. When Rhea Ripley first aligned herself with the Judgment Day, she elevated the group's presentation almost instantly. Her dominance in the women's division matched Damian Priest's ruthless rise in the men's ranks. The two carried themselves with a confidence that screamed future world champions. For a while, their partnership felt like the silent heartbeat of the faction. Priest, towering at nearly 7 feet, and Ripley, the powerhouse of the women's division, made for a striking visual pairing. They weren't romantically linked on screen, but there was a respectful intensity between them that fans couldn't help but notice. Many speculated that the group could eventually evolve into a storyline where Priest and Ripley became the true leaders of Judgment Day, guiding Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor rather than playing secondary roles. Instead, WWE leaned heavily on Ripley's relationship with Dominic, which produced entertaining television, but the chemistry between Ripley and Priest never completely disappeared. One of the most telling elements of Priest and Ripley's story is the theme of jealousy. Priest has often found himself torn between loyalty to the group and his personal ambitions. Winning the Money in the Bank contract in 2023 put him in a precarious spot. Suddenly, he was seen as a threat to Finn Balor, who at the time was obsessed with reclaiming championship gold. Ripley, meanwhile, often acted as the peacemaker within Judgment Day, especially when Priest and Balor butted heads. Still, there were moments when Priest's eyes lingered a little too long on Ripley's successes. Her dominance as Women's World Champion, the way she controlled the ring, and the way she commanded respect, these were qualities Priest himself strived for. Reports and fan theories suggested Priest was secretly jealous of Ripley, even if he never openly admitted it. That jealousy, however, could evolve into a deeper storyline, one where Priest recognizes that Ripley is the only one who truly understands the weight of his struggles. The current trajectory of the Judgment Day shows cracks widening by the week. Balor and Priest's alliance has never been stable, with both men knowing they could never fully trust each other. Dominic, while loyal to Ripley, has been portrayed as more of a liability than an asset when the stakes are high. This instability sets the stage for something fascinating, Ripley and Priest breaking away and standing together as equals. Imagine this: Priest finally gets fed up with being underestimated, and Ripley, who has already established herself as the voice of authority in Judgment Day, steps in to back him. The two could form a fearsome partnership, balancing Ripley's cold, calculating dominance with Priest's explosive aggression. If WWE decides to push Ripley and Priest as a reunited force, the possibilities for storytelling are endless. Taking over Raw, together, they could seize control of Monday Night Raw, positioning themselves as the true power couple of WWE without ever needing to blur the lines into romance. Their bond could be built on mutual respect, trust, and dominance. Breaking Judgment Day apart, their reunion could spell the official end of Judgment Day, with Priest and Ripley destroying Finn Balor and leaving Dominic out in the cold. This would be a natural conclusion to months of growing tension. Champion power play: Ripley could reclaim her place at the top of the women's division while Priest finally secures a world championship reign. A faction built around their dominance could take WWE to new heights. Fan investment: fans who have long sensed the spark between Ripley and Priest would rally behind the duo, whether they're heels or babyfaces. It's a pairing that feels organic, rather than forced. WWE thrives on compelling partnerships, and Ripley-Priest has all the ingredients of one of the most fascinating modern alliances. Both superstars represent a new generation of WWE talent, athletic, charismatic, and larger than life. More importantly, they complement each other's strengths. Ripley is the strategist, the cold-blooded leader who manipulates situations to her advantage. Priest is the enforcer, the towering figure who does the heavy lifting and unleashes destruction. Together, they are unstoppable. Separately, WWE risks allowing both to be overshadowed, Ripley by her ongoing storyline with Dominic, and Priest by the ongoing chaos with Finn Balor. A reunion would allow both stars to shine at the same level. A reunited Ripley and Priest could feud with some of WWE's biggest names. Imagine the battles against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch in a mixed storyline that highlights both men's and women's divisions. Against Cody Rhodes and Bianca Belair, pitting WWE's top babyfaces against its most dangerous duo. Against former allies like Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, cementing the official breakup of the Judgment Day. The storytelling potential writes itself, and WWE Creative would have months of material to build upon. For too long, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley have stood on parallel paths without fully embracing the power of their partnership. WWE fans know there's something special when they're in the same frame, something electric, something dangerous, something that feels bigger than the storylines surrounding them. Now, with the Judgment Day's foundation weakening, the timing couldn't be more perfect for a Ripley-Priest reunion. Together, they could dominate WWE in a way few duos have ever managed, carving out a legacy that rivals some of the most legendary alliances in wrestling history. Whether they take over Raw, destroy their former allies, or rise as champions side by side, one thing is certain: if WWE pulls the trigger on reuniting Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, the wrestling world will never be the same again.